Good evening. I'm Dave Ramsey. Tonight, we're diving into how Trump's tariffs are hitting American families where it hurts most, their wallets. Hey folks, picture this. It's a chilly Saturday morning in January 2026. You're grabbing your coffee from the corner shop in Detroit or Buffalo, scrolling through your feed, and bam, another headline about tariff jacking up the price of your truck parts or that new fridge you were eyeing. Remember last fall, when everything felt like it was unraveling? Factories laying off workers in the Rust Belt, families scraping by with grocery bills through the roof, and everyone whispering about whether President Trump's big tariff push was saving jobs or just making life harder for regular folks like us. I mean, come on, we've all felt it. That pit in your stomach when you check your 401k and see it dipping because supply chains are a mess, or when your buddy at the auto plant tells you shifts are getting cut because parts from up north cost a fortune now. You know, watching all these stories unfold, from the raw numbers CNN's Harry Inton crunch showing 60% of Americans turning against these new tariffs, more than any other Trump policy, it's clear something's shifting in our collective gut. We're the country that loves our neighbors, right? Polls say Canada ranks higher in popularity than the president himself, plus 49 points net favorability, while folks down here are feeling the squeeze on everything from steel to cars. And those clips of businesses pivoting, like that ice cream factory owner who bet everything on Buy American turning into Buy Local pride, or the snowplow guy ditching you.s. Parts for homegrown steel, they hit home because they're us. Think about your own life. Maybe you're in Ohio, watching your small hardware store struggle as import costs climb 50% on aluminum, forcing you to choose between hiking prices on loyal customers or eating the loss yourself. Or you're a mom in Michigan, juggling 2 jobs, skipping the family road trip because gas and car repairs are eating your budget alive. That's the real trade war, not some deep sea shouting match, but the quiet heartbreak of dreams deferred, kids' college funds looking thinner, and that American grit tested every single day. But here's the fire I want to light under you today, straight from the heart. This chaos, it's not the end. It's your wake-up call to thrive. Those videos aren't just news. They're blueprints for resilience, stories of everyday heroes flipping the script when Washington plays games. Like that entrepreneur who saw tariffs as an entrepreneur's dream, because change breeds opportunity. He started scanning lists of U.S. imports and asking, what can I make right here? You could do that too. If you're in manufacturing, scout local suppliers now. Swap out those tariff-hit imports for domestic alternatives before your competitors do. I remember my uncle in Pennsylvania, old-school steelworker, who back in the day turned a factory slowdown into a side hustle welding custom trailers. Made a killing because he adapted fast. Start small. Audit your bills this weekend. Hit up trade shows or LinkedIn for American-made swaps, and negotiate bulk deals with stateside vendors. Practical step 1. Download that free supply chain app everyone's buzzing about on TikTok. Map your dependencies and cut foreign exposure by 20% in the next quarter. Families, talk money at the dinner table, not with fear but fire. Budget like pros, apps like a NAB for zero-based tracking, meal prep to slash grocery inflation, which tariffs are fueling hard, and side gigs on Upwork or driving for that delivery app that's exploding in your town. Emotionally, man, it's tough. Social media is flooded with rage posts, TikToks of empty shelves, reels mocking America first while wallets hurt. But lean into the motivation surging through these stories. That modular home builder racing to automate his factory for affordable housing, betting on we have everything we need here. That's the mindset shift we need nationwide. You're not powerless. You're positioned. Trump's tariffs, love him or hate him, are forcing innovation. Steel mills ramping up domestic output. Auto parts firms reshoring jobs to places like your backyard. I've seen it in small towns. Barbecues where folks swap tips on bartering skills. Community co-ops forming to buy in bulk and dodge price hikes. Picture your family not just surviving, but stronger. Kids learning hustle from you, turning tough times into our story. Dive into podcasts like those breaking down USMCA tweaks. Join Facebook groups for tariff-proof businesses and vote with your dollars every checkout. And let's get real about the economy. Inflation's biting because these targeted hits on autos, steel, aluminum, 50% in spots, are no blanket fix. They're inflating costs for us consumers while allies calibrate responses without full escalation. But you're the wild card. Start that consulting gig teaching companies to localize. Flip your garage into a micro factory for tariff-free goods, or rally your neighborhood for a bulk buy club. Remember the ice cream guy? Drop U.S. Fruits sourced local, expanded big. 900 jobs saved, patriotism paying off. That's your blueprint. Pivot, protect your people, prosper. Folks, as we stare down this trade storm in 2026, don't curl up, charge through. You've got the grit that built this nation, the smarts to outmaneuver headlines, and stories proving everyday Americans win when they adapt from the heart. Grab that opportunity, hug your people tight, and build the future they can't tariff away. Your move. Make it legendary. 5K words or ad crow. Hey folks, imagine this. It's one of those crisp January mornings in 2026. You're bundled up in your old Ford pickup, scraping ice off the windshield in a small town outside Detroit, and your phone buzzes with yet another alert about tariffs, spiking the cost of everything from car parts to your kids' hockey skates. You hop in, crank the heat, and head to the diner where the regulars are griping over eggs and bacon. Same conversation every day now. Trump's America First is killing my wallet, or Canada's hitting back. And guess who's paying? We've all been there, right? That moment when the news feels personal, when the big D.C. decisions land like a gut punch on your family's budget, turning what used to be a simple grocery run into a math problem you didn't sign up for. I remember pulling into that diner last week myself, eavesdropping on a table of auto workers from the plant down the road. One guy, call him Mike, salt-of-the-earth type, been welding frames since he was 18, says his overtime dried up because steel from up north just doubled overnight. His wife's a nurse, pulling doubles too, but they're dipping into savings for the mortgage. Across from him, Sarah, who runs a little hardware store her dad started in the 70s, chimes in, aluminum's up 50%, folks are skipping big buys, and I'm either jacking prices on my neighbors or closing early. That's the soundtrack of America right now, from the Rust Belt to the Heartland. Folks like you and me, grinding through inflation that's not just numbers on a screen, but real pain at the pump, the checkout, the doctor's office. And those YouTube clips we've all been doom scrolling, they're not abstract policy debates. They're mirrors reflecting our chaos back at us, showing Canadian factories pivoting like ninjas while we're stuck debating on X and TikTok. Let's rewind a bit, because to really feel this, you got to connect the dots from last fall's election buzz to today. President Trump, fresh off his re-election win, doubles down on tariffs, 25% on autos, 50% on steel and aluminum, aimed square at Canada, our polite but feisty neighbor who's suddenly pulling ads and prepping countermeasures. CNN's Harry Enton drops those brutal numbers. 60% of us souring on the policy faster than any other Trump move, with Canada polling at plus 49 favorability while the trade war tanks our mood. Why? Because we're feeling it in our bones. Grocery bills up 20% since the hikes kicked in. Car repairs that used to be $500 now $800 because parts cross that border. Social media is a battlefield. TikToks of empty shelves in Buffalo, reels from Toronto mocking hour by American stickers while their ice cream factories boom with local sourcing. And the mindset? Pure exhaustion mixed with defiance. We're the generation that grew up on endless growth, cheap imports, Amazon Prime next day, everything. Now it's adapt or get left behind, and half of us are raging at the TV while the other half's quietly hustling. But hold up, those videos aren't doom porn, they're gold mines of grit. Take that ice cream entrepreneur in Ontario, pivoting from imported U.S. fruits to local berries, saving 900 jobs and turning tariff trouble into a patriotic expansion story. Or the snowplow builder ditching American steel for Canadian alternatives, thriving while others scramble. Then there's the modular home guy automating his factory because we've got everything we need right here, racing to build affordable houses for families priced out of the market. And don't sleep on the U.S. side. Clips of factories in Pennsylvania ramping up domestic output. Small businesses scanning import lists asking, what can I make myself? It's the same fire burning in places like Ohio, where a buddy of mine just launched a side gig fabricating trailer hitches from scrap, undercutting the big guys because no tariffs touch local steel. This hits different when you tie it to our daily grind. Think about Thanksgiving 2025, tables groaning under turkey and pies, but mom whispering about skipping the ham next year because cured meats jumped 30%. Or that family road trip to the Grand Canyon you scrapped because the SUV's tires, made with Canadian rubber compounds, cost an arm and a leg to replace. Kids are feeling it too. Back to school shopping, where sneakers that were $60 are now $90. College hopefuls staring at FAFSA forms wondering if community college is the new normal. Social media culture amplifies the ache. Instagram stories of tariff hauls gone wrong. Twitter threads roasting politicians while families privately cut cable to save $100 a month. The economy's a beast. GDP growth sputtering at 1.8% because supply chains are knotted, unemployment ticking up to 4.7% in manufacturing hubs, but wages stagnant for the middle class. We're posting motivational quotes about hustle culture on LinkedIn, but deep down, it's fear of falling behind China, of losing the house, of explaining to your teenager why dreams feel smaller. Emotionally, it's a roller coaster. I've had nights staring at my own bills, heart racing, thinking, how do we keep the lights on and still dream big? That pit in your stomach when the plant manager calls a town hall about efficiencies, code for layoffs. The quiet tears when you tell your spouse, no vacation this year. But flip the script. These stories scream resilience. Remember the Great Recession? Folks like my dad turned garages into workshops, bartered skills at block parties, emerged tougher. Today's no different. Those Canadian businesses thriving? They're us, scanning opportunities in the chaos, betting on local, building community. So, let's get practical, because motivation without action is just hot air. Step 1. Audit your life this weekend. Grab a notebook or that notes app on your phone. List every bill touched by tariffs. Groceries, gas, repairs, appliances. Highlight the big hitters. Cars, 25% tariff. Metals, 50%. Anything crossing that border. Practical advice. Switch to domestic brands now. Apps like Made in USA scanner at the store? Download it. For businesses, hit up Thomasnet or Alibaba's U.S. Pavilion for suppliers. Cut import dependency by 20% in 90 days. Families, meal prep like bosses. Rice, beans, local eggs, /food costs 30%. Side hustles exploding on TikTok. Flip garage sale finds on Facebook Marketplace. Drive for DoorDash during peak hours. Tips are insane right now. Or tutor online via OutSchool if you got a skill. Deeper dive for entrepreneurs. Those videos nail it. Treat tariffs as your entrepreneur's dream. List 10 products you use daily. Google domestic alternatives. Prototype one. My cousin in Michigan did this with custom truck accessories. Started with $500 in tools. Now pulls $5,000 per month tax-free basically. Network like crazy. Join Reddits are /manufacturing or local chamber Zooms. Swap supplier contacts. For employees, upskill fast. Free Coursera courses on automation. Welding certs at community colleges. Many subsidized now. Emotionally, build your circle. Weekly family money huddles. No judgment, just plans. Share wins. Hey, we saved $50 on bulk rice. Celebrate small, build momentum. Zoom out to the bigger picture, because understanding the game changes everything. Trump's tariffs aren't random. Their chess moves post-USMCA tweaks, targeting autos where Canada owns 20% of our imports. Retaliation's measured. No full war, but ads pulled, targeted hits on U.S. Exports like whiskey and yogurt. Polls show 55% of Americans want negotiation, not escalation, because we're pragmatic, love the jobs promise, hate the price tag. Social trends? Reshore now. Hashtags trending. Influencers unboxing American-made everything. Podcasts like Joe Rogan dissecting supply chains. Mindset shift from consumer to creator. That snowplow guy's line, we survived by innovating. Echoes in factories from Buffalo to Milwaukee. Real-life examples to fire you up. Take Jenny from upstate New York, diner waitress who saw her tips drop as truckers griped about fuel surcharges. She started a meal kit side gig using local farms. Now delivers to 50 families weekly, quit waiting tables. Or Tom in Indiana, laid off from GM, pivoted to 3D printing auto prototypes domestically. Landed contracts because no tariff delays. Emotional peak. Picture Tom's first paycheck handover to his wife, tears flowing, saying, "We did it." That's us, raw, real rising. For the economy strugglers, budget boot camp. Zero-based like Dave Ramsey preaches. Every dollar assigned. Apps. In AB, you need a budget. Tracks tariffs bite automatically. Cut subscriptions ruthlessly. Netflix family plan? Share with neighbors. Bulk buys via Costco or Sam's. Negotiate with local farms for direct meat deals. Kids' activities? Free park leagues over travel soccer. Motivation. Visualize the win. Family vacation funded by your hustle. College paid off early. Business owners. Level up. Diversify suppliers yesterday. That modular builder automated lines for speed. Study robotics grants from the feds. Plenty post-tariffs. Market tariff-proof branding. 100% American. No delays. Social proof. TikTok series showing your pivot. Day 1. Ditched imports. Day 30. Sales up 40%. Community power. Form co-ops. 10 hardware stores pooling for steel buys. Slash costs 25%. Family dynamics. Dads. Lead with vulnerability. Time's tough, but we're tougher. Moms. Own the numbers. Teach kids compound interest via piggy banks. Teens channel angst into gigs. Mow lawns, pet sit via Nextdoor. Holidays ahead? DIY gifts. Custom wood signs from Home Depot scraps. Heartfelt over store-bought. Struggles peak in red states. Ohio, Pennsylvania, where plants shuttered but rebirth brews. Green energy tie-in. Tariffs boost solar panel domestics. Jobs in unexpected spots. Social media mindset. Ditch outrage porn, curate feeds with hustlers like Gary V dropping adapt or die reels. Long-haul motivation. History's on our side. Smoot Hawley, 1930s? Hurt bad, but birthed innovators. Today, AI tools scan tariffs real-time. Use ChatGPT for supplier hunts. Emotional anchor. Your why. Kids' future, legacy of grit. Pivot stories multiply. Ice cream factories, 900 jobs? Mirror it. Local sourcing saves payroll. Snowplow thrives? Customize for your niche. Home builder? Automate housing crisis solution. Practical toolkit. EPS, Madowesa, Tariff Tracker, eNub. Networks. LinkedIn groups, Reshoring Revolution, local BNI. Learning. YouTube channels on welding, CNC, free cert paths. Finance. High-yield savings, 5% now, Roth IRAs maxed. 2026 outlook. Tariffs stabilize by summer if talks resume, but you're ahead. Inflation cools as domestics ramp. Your early move compounds. Folks, heart to heart. This trade storms your forge. That diner chat turns to triumphs. Mike rehires crew with local steel deals. Sarah expands store with co-op power. You, from scraping by to stacking wins. Charge forward. Audit today. Hustle tomorrow. Legacy forever. You've got the stories, the smarts, the soul. Make 2026 your legend. God bless and go build.